help to help just you be able to find your balance and kind of clear away any reactivity, right? And like overwhelm isn't necessarily like always overwhelmed with bad things. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed with good things as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so we always want to be finding our center. And so it's good that when you notice that you're holding your breath, you're starting to breathe. Um, but don't be too hard on yourself because then that
That's
also can be
another thing. I'm still
discouraging.
working on that. Still working on that. And thank you for sharing with like the breathing technique. I'm gonna definitely do that at work because my job is very stressful. Being in the military, yeah. But I'm soon gonna be getting out. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. But
yes.
transitions can be challenging. So it's good that you're learning
Mm-hmm.
tools to use during your transitional periods.
Yes, yes.
So just be gentle with yourself the same way you would be with anybody else who's around you that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you notice that you're not being as consistent with your breathing, like acknowledge that. Don't be like, oh no, it's fine. But like acknowledge that, but then be like, okay, I can try again, or I am trying again, and really affirming yourself when you are starting to do it, thanking yourself for doing
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know? So we're gonna spend some time breathing now. Or do you have any other questions or anything?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do about five 5 to 10 minutes of just breathing. And I have a new affirmation for us to do. And so the affirmation is I am safe and I have all that I need. That's on the inhale. And I release my need for control on the exhale. Okay. So, and again, this is at your own pace. Um, so I'll be saying the affirmations continuously and you just breathe at your own pace. Okay. Right. Give me a thumbs up when you are ready. Okay. Inhale through your nose. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my need for control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. Last breath. I am safe and have all that I need. I release my attachment to control. Return to your regular breath. Ground into this feeling. Bring your awareness into your body. Remember how each part of your body feels, how your thoughts feel. You have the ability to tap into the state of calm whenever you need it. You are divinely guided and protected. Your ancestors are always with you, guiding you, loving you, and showing you the way. You're doing the work that you need to heal yourself and your family and your community. Continue to be in flow. Continue to do what you need to. You have all the components with you at all times. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Bring your awareness back into the room. Maybe wiggle your hands a little bit, shake out that any tingles that you might be feeling. Right. Do you have anything that you want to share before we move into the next section? No? Okay. Well, as you know, the next section is led by my big sister, Abla, and she has been doing an amazing job connecting us back with our ancestors through the different ways that she shines light on how society affects our views of the way that we honor our ancestors. So I am excited for this next section and what we get into today. I give you the floor, Abla.
Lafia, thank you, Kwavi. Good to see you again, Tiana. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good, good. How has um yeah, so okay, hold on, sorry. Okay, so yes, we're at the ancestral veneration section. I know you have been here before. So first, I will again, as it is our tradition, give honor and respect to our ancestors, to my ancestors, to those who have come before me, and all other energies that are with me to support me in life. I also give honor and gratitude to my teacher and my mentor, Priestess Hanera Abunu, who is guiding and teaching us in the ways of traditions. And then also I give honor to my temple, Nazia Fa, here in the U.S., and also the temples, sacred temples in Benin, who keep and teach the knowledge and allow us to return back to our tradition. So I, again want to touch on ancestral veneration, but before we go into it, since you've been in the class before, I would like to ask you, how has your ancestral veneration practice been developing since we've last spoke?
It's developing. I see myself every morning when I wake up, like how you just did, acknowledging your ancestors. I do that when I pray. Um, I have a lot of conversations with my mom and my family, asking questions, like you were saying, doing research, your family tree and stuff. Um, yeah, it's developing. I'm
Mm,
excited.
good. How have those conversations gone around? Like, what's some interesting things you found, or is there anything that popped out to you?
I see we share a lot of things like from like my great grandmother, her birthday is this month. So, my mom was like with me, into herbs and then spirituality. She was telling me my grandmother was the same way and stuff. So yeah, yeah,
Good, good.
yeah.
Those are some of those bloodline gifts or talents, all
Yeah.
yeah, that you're
hmm
starting to see as you begin to hear those stories, right?
hmm
Okay, okay. And how is it developing your family tree? I think that was one of the homeworks. I hear you're starting to ask your family members. Have you started to write down names and map out the tree?
Yes, it's
Okay.
I'm not finished. It's a process, yeah, because like my great grandmother, I don't have too much information about her. Same with her husband, and then my dad's side, as I was doing my mom's side, because I didn't even start on my dad's side, but I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know really too much about my dad's side, so I'm ready to start on that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, my phone.
you good.
Okay. Do you, as you're developing your family tree, um, do you remember we talked about different ways to venerate your ancestors? And one way we talked about is saying their names.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you three
Mm-hmm.
names, three names from your family tree that you can remember.
Oh, right now, off the top of my head, I'm a my mom, which is Ellen Davis, my grandmother my great grandmother, but I still call her grandma, Grandma Annie Wiggins, and then we just my great uncle, which I call him Pops, Alfonso Gabo. He just had a birthday last month. So
Hmm.
yeah, they energy's been like heavy, especially um their birthday. My grandmother, hers is September. Then I noticed another thing we was talking about. We noticed like a pattern. A lot of our um their relatives so die in October. So with October, I was definitely gonna like try to do something big because we noticed like a lot of our loved ones passed in that month. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Good. So at least you know some history and you've collected some names. So I encourage you to continue to research and find out more. The names that you do know, I encourage you to continue to speak those names to draw to you the energy that you need, right? To build the relationship with those ancestors. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and as you are consistent in that, I think more will be revealed to you. And so you'll only get stronger and deeper in your practice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me ask you, um, now that you've gone through at least one or two of these classes about ancestral veneration, um, do you still have some questions about it, or do you still have any? Um, I guess, fear or negative connotations that we should address, or are you now comfortable or more comfortable with the concept?
I'm comfortable. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do have a little fear because I'm like, I know as I was seeing, because I was still doing research and like I have read books and stuff. And I guess the only fear is like I'm wondering, they were saying you in your bloodline you got ancestors that that didn't mean well and stuff. So I was wondering like when I call on them, will I have, bring those energies? But at the back of my mind, when that come, I'm like, if that energy do come, all I can do is just pray that they heal and stuff. Cause I
Mm,
do wonder, I had read that it's a transition for them, and some of them, they don't want to accept the transition or crossover. So I would just be curious, like wondering, who had a hard time, and then I just pray for them that they transition, they be at peace with it.
yes. Actually, that's something that I also hear a lot, right? We don't know because we don't know our family histories, right? We don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily know who led a good life and who didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And really we're all along our path, so it's difficult for us to judge that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
from my experience, I know Mianu, Priestess Hanera, can expound on this, so I want to save this for when she comes on to discuss. But based on my experience, my small experience,
Mm-hmm.
based on that, um, especially, and then also what we're talking about here, we're talking about healing, right? Healing the bloodline, healing our ancestors. And even when you think about it on a living, like a day to day basis, when we experience trauma, when we have hurt, when we have pain, we sometimes don't always act in the proper way, right?
Right.
We don't always express that correctly. And, even when I think about people within my bloodline that may have been saucy characters. When I think about them, and then I also hear the stories about how they grew up, how they lived their life,
Mm-hmm.
things they've been through, it's like, oh my God, I no wonder,
Yeah,
right?
I while you was explaining that, I instantly thought about like my mom's side. My mom and her mom, they didn't have a good relationship, but as I'm doing this work and stuff, and I'm like, I see why my mom was like that. And then it ties into my mom relationship. So you're right. It has taught me, not be too quick to judge them and just have grace for them and just pray, because, they went through a lot and some people, react off of, what they've been through or, yeah. So
Yeah, they're
I'm
not all the way
glad to
healed.
be doing this to just heal my family, heal
Right,
them, and
right,
definitely myself because it shows up in some ways for me as well. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so I definitely want to share that with you to alleviate some of that fear, right?
No,
And
oh,
know,
so trust me, I'm fine. I'm just, like when you first start something, you still got that fear or whatever. But
of course.
I'm still, it's a good fear. It's a good fear. Like I'm still gonna, proceed or whatever. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it is too, because what it tells me is that you're caring about those people in your bloodline.
Hmm.
It tells me that you're practical. Everybody is not a,
Yeah, because I'm
you
not
know,
perfect myself as well.
yeah,
I'm not
nobody's
perfect.
perfect, right?
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
there are lessons that we can learn from
Mm-hmm.
their imperfections, right? From their mistakes. And then also you have to ask yourself, why is that something you're even paying attention to? Is
Oh,
it that
wow.
are the one, right? You are the one to help heal that, right? Why are those, then you got to think, why are those thoughts coming up? Do I have to help someone? Do I have to heal? Do I have to, pour back into, um, the bloodline? So that is important. And what I would offer is to think, when you're doing your ancestral veneration, you're giving honor, you're reverencing, but you're also healing and you're also helping, right? And you're wanting to help those that are in need. There's one thing that I, usually in the mornings, I like to pour water for my ancestors. And one thing that I always say is that I want the new ones to be connected to the old ones, so that we
Okay.
are all restored, we are all healed, we are all
Okay.
uh, in better health, right? And what we need, we can help each other as a community. So I'd be like asking my ancestors to help other ancestors. I'm asking,
Yes, yes,
okay,
yeah.
so
Help me out.
help me help you, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. Very, 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 very good. Um, all right. So then what else? So we went through that. You feel more comfortable.
Hmm.
Of course there are, certain things, but we know how to handle it. When talking about the various ways on how to venerate, have you started any of those ways? Like, do you have an ancestral altar? Have you begun to start a routine?
So I'm still working on like before I would use like I got a table near my chair and I used to like put pictures and stuff or whatever, but now I'm more inclined to like get an actual table. I know the y'all was saying get a petition. I've been looking to find some of those as well. But for some reason something is telling me like the still continue working on myself, still like heal, rest. Like just for now, just call on them like when I get up and prayer and stuff, like still gather all this stuff. But I don't know, for some reason deep down something is telling me that and then go to them. I don't know whether that's them telling me or maybe my body is just like, okay, we need to, you know, do you and then I don't know. I was gonna ask that, is that common?
Hmm. I don't know if I can say whether it's common or not, just because I'm not as experienced as Mianu. So we definitely want to ask her
Okay.
that question. But if your body, just from my experience, if your body is telling you to rest and restore yourself, then definitely there's a level of self care that's needed. And also, you might be making sure that you're doing something that's sustainable, right? A lot of
Mhm.
times we get excited about something and we go all out to do it.
That's what,
And
and that's literally, I'll be beating myself up too because I'm like, I'm ready to go ahead and set it up for them and stuff or whatever. But then something's like, no, you need to just like right now, just call on us when you wake up, or when they birthdays, do little stuff like that or whatever. So yeah.
yeah, start wherever you are and it will grow
Mhm.
into your full practice and something that you can sustain. So if you know
Mhm.
it every day, I might not be able to do the whole ritual, but I can say their names every day. I
Mhm.
can I can pray. I can, say words of affirmations. I can gather pictures. I can do that.
Mhm.
Then do that
Okay.
until you are pushed to do more.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready to have them a space and, separated and stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and if you can't find a partition, I didn't use the cloth before with some tacks.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, you know what? I'm about to, because those petitions can be a little pricey, but that's fine though. It's fine. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you can do to get it started, but yeah, start where you're at. Good,
Okay.
good, good. Okay, okay. So that is, I just wanted to check in with you.
Thank
Um,
you.
hmm. Okay, in checking in, I just want to make sure also, could you give me the definition of ancestral veneration?
Oh, off the spot. Like I got it in my note. I'ma just go off of like from what I learned and put in my own words. Um, it's the sum of like, as we talking about the altar, you ooh. I really put me on the spot. I was gonna also say, like, with me doing the work, cleansing myself spiritually, physically, mentally, but just giving them recognition and thanks of, it could be like you were saying, calling on their names and stuff. But I can give you the definition. I wrote the definition down.
Okay, okay. Okay, well, just so we're here, ancestral veneration is to exalt, to lift up, to
Mm-hmm.
respect, and to revere your family members, your bloodline family members who have passed on to the other side.
Right.
Right, right, right. Okay, okay. And I'm gonna give you homework because I feel like you're gonna come
That's
back and you're gonna come back and
yeah.
you're gonna come. Okay, so I want to give you homework because I hear you're wanting to start the practice. You're not
Mm-hmm.
sure how sustainable you can be or consistent, but you want to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I hear that you need to rest and restore yourself. So I want to redefine or not repurpose, to advise you that ancestral veneration, the practice of it, is actually self-care.
Oh, okay.
I
And
remember
that's
when I Yeah, I remember when I first started, I'm the type that I got like, it's like I got like 10 things going around my head, like 10 things to do all the
that's
time.
me.
Like
Yeah.
10 things to do all the time. And I'm like, I can't find 10, 20, 30. I can't find no time to do this, right? But the real thing was that it's basically saying, when I was saying that, I was saying, I don't have time for myself.
Mhm.
It's not, I don't have time to practice or honor my ancestors. I don't have time for myself. I don't have
Mhm.
time to pour into me. I don't have
Mhm.
time to heal. Is what you're saying, right? And it's counterintuitive because the practice of ancestral veneration is about self-care, is about healing self, right? Um, Mianu always says that, we are a combination of all of our ancestors bottled into to us here. So when we take care of ourselves, we also take care of them. When we take care of them, we're also taking care of ourselves.
Right.
So I'm gonna push you because I don't want you to do something that's not sustainable, but I do want
No, I.
you to take care of yourself.
Mm,
So we learned breath work, we learned ancestral veneration. For the next time, I want to see how this goes. But if you can take 10 minutes out of your day to do the exercises that Aquavi mentioned,
mm-hmm.
and at least at the end say your ancestors' names. So let's see how that goes.
Okay, I will do
That
it.
that
Definitely.
is mhm, that begins your practice. You kind of two birds at one stone. You're
Right.
breathing, you're centering, meditating, which is preparing you to communicate with your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So let's try that and let's see
Okay.
how it goes. It's for you.
All right. No, no,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I need it.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So that is, what I had for you today as a follow up. Did you have any other questions or any topics that you wanted us to go over or from Miano Priestess Haneros to explain in more detail?
I No, I brought up about what we talked about earlier. Um, no, not as I can think of them top of my head right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, it was good to see you, and I look forward to having another session and hearing how that goes, how your work
Yeah,
goes.
the homework go. Yeah. Good seeing you and thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you.
That was so good to be able to really get into what's going on in your life and for all of
Mm-hmm.
help give you some good guidance
Yes.
on what to do next. And it was really nice to hear your ancestors' names. Like I got like chills when you said
Oh
their
no.
yeah, yeah. And I know that the energy is moving. Like I can feel it. Like I'm not
Yeah.
swaying and even the way I'm speaking right now. So I'm very excited for what Mianu has to share because I know it's going to be very potent. I know that
Mm-hmm.
the energy is moving. So I'm excited to be able to introduce Mianu. You know, you met her in person now, and I mean, you've met her before, but you're really
More,
starting,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, to know her and just experience the wisdom that she has. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to be able to give her the floor and be able to hear all the good things she has to share for us.
Okay. Thank
Floor is
you.
on.
Lafayette, everyone. I'm greeting each of you, Abla and Aquavi. Thank you for your service and your stewardship and doing Dogby's work. Um, I greet you, Tiana. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I give honor to Nae, Bujitao, and Amaso the second. I have to acknowledge her before speaking because um, that's my spiritual mother. That's your grandmother. official spiritual grandma. Y'all hear that on the call? And for those who have met her in person, you know how her energy is. It's like grandma energy. It's straight, direct, to the point, honest, raw. But it's that medicine you need. It's like the bitter, it's the bitter. More bitter, the better. And I'm so grateful that she has allowed me to be under her wing, and not just be under her wing, because plenty of people travel to Africa from all over the world. I've seen them come to study and be initiated and get spiritual work and divinations done there at the temple. So it's not just that she allowed that, because I do know of people that she's turned away, but it's the fact that she allows me to be under her wing and stay there for as long as I've been there, that I take as a complete honor and privilege, and I don't take that lightly or for granted. And so I just give her acknowledgement for that. So Tiana, you were here for full moon.
Yes, I was.
And I've been hearing you say how the week has been for you. And that night, that day was very powerful. We
Yes.
talked about it that night, how it was a shift of energies, a change of guard. It was the end of one cycle and the beginning and ushering in of a new cycle beginning. And so for me, it's very interesting to hear how that new energy since coming to the seance has caused you to slow down some. So I just want you to speak a little bit more in detail, because what I noticed from you is that you speak vaguely, and I understand in the line of work that you're in, that's what you have to do, right? How are you? I'm fine. How's everything? It's good. Right? Because there has to be boundaries. There has to be parameters set. But this is a safe space. This is a sisterhood. This is a community. These two women on the call, in regard to the temple and spirituality, in this sphere, it don't matter the age. These two women are your big sisters, because they've been learning under the temple longer than you. Even if it was just one day before you, they still have more wisdom with that one day than you. So they're your big sister. And so big sisters are there to protect their little sister. Big sisters are there to teach their little sister. Big sisters are there to guide and do the work with you, like help you on the way mama doesn't. Yeah. And so everybody here is focused on your best interest. And I bring that point home because I want to know specifically how the week has been for you. Like what instances, what situations, what thoughts, what you said downloads, what specific downloads are happening? What has your diet been? What has your daily routine been like? Because little do you know, we've all been experiencing certain things that have been different. And so I want to see how things are going for you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. crazy you said that because I always have a hard time like expressing what, my wants and needs. And that was one of the things show up. And you're right, like with the job that or the work environment I'm in, it's hard. Like you always have to, say that you will when you're not. So it's been exhausting for me because I've always like try to keep going um when I just need to be still and believe it or not, I know you were saying the boundaries I would come up for me and I go through counseling. My counseling always tell me, I have to have boundaries. And it was more louder and clear during this week, and especially the full moon. Um, I was told by a friend, because I have never heard of like empath. He was telling me, I was an empath. So with me not having boundaries, it's some people that I know and they call me with their problems and it just drained me. So that was that. A lot of the boundaries and then, you know, getting on myself of like, um, where I should be at. And with me soon be getting out the Navy, um, I'm, I noticed I'm constantly worrying about what's next, the money and stuff like that. But then at the same time, I also was telling myself I just need to, flow. Let's not worry about, the future, stuff that I can't control. I need to be more present. I notice I'm not being present, and that's the biggest piece. So yeah,
You said a lot,
I know I'm
and
so
I thank you
surprised. I
for that.
don't like the I don't like but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
No, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That was very, very good. That was a good start. That was a good beginning. Um, yes, as an empath, you will be very sensitive during this time. And it can come in different physical and mental and spiritual ways, right? And I think you're experiencing all of them, right? The fatigue, the tiredness. Some people experience headaches, brain fog,
Mhm.
dizziness. Um, there's a lot. And there, and we just got the divination too. I
Yeah,
haven't
so
shared
I'm
it.
glad you brought that up. I went on the website and
Uh-huh.
tried to pay for it on the day, but it's closed. So I was gonna ask you, could I pay
Yeah.
it today?
Yeah, you can Abla put the Zelle in the chat, and you can do Zelle. I thought that would happen, and I didn't know if I addressed it that night when I was saying just choose any day
Okay.
and you could pay. I'm trying to um, get away from all of the Zelles and the Cash Apps and the Venmos and all of that,
You did mention that. You did. Sorry about
because of
that.
the accounting, and we're trying to prepare for Queen Mother to come, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to have our books in order because we have to apply for these very detailed visas, and they go through everything as a nonprofit, and so but if you're having difficulty, you can use the Zelle. The Zelle is probably the only one of those apps that I'm even open to using right now. But I would prefer you to go through the website and just pick a day. And
Okay, so yeah, you have other days up there, but the date that we talked about that you wanted to do with me is, I
mhm.
don't know whether when that night when you put it in, that's probably why it's not available on my side for me to pay for it.
I have it on my calendar.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't know whether, so I was gonna ask, they got other dates, but it's not that date we talked about. So
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't
just
know what
choose another date. Yeah, just choose
okay.
any other date just to make the payment go through. But just know our date is this week.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I'll send
Okay.
you the confirmation in WhatsApp. And I just need you to make the payment before Tuesday because that would
Yeah.
be the 48 hours.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do it when we get off the call. Yeah. Because I tried to do it last night. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. And so getting back to this week, a couple things for the physical that you can do. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you be kind to yourself and your energy,
That'd be
meaning,
a struggle.
yeah, if certain people you can't handle the loud talking or the loud music, or maybe you can't handle holding certain electronic devices, or don't force yourself. Um, and that might be difficult, like you said, a
And
struggle because you're working. Um, but where you're able to um, um, give yourself that grace, right? Because that's respecting your gifts. That's your gifts that are active. Can you believe there's certain people that aren't active and don't have those gifts? And they don't have that sensitivity to energy. And so that's a gift that needs to be protected. That's a level of purity that needs to be protected. Remember, we were talking about purity the last week, right?
mm,
So you've broken through certain levels of purity where your connection has you to where you're sensitive
mm,
to energy like that. And so, in order to keep that sensitivity, right, you can do research. I'm giving you homework now.
oh,
Do
that's fine.
research on do research on your pineal gland.
Penile. Okay, I got it.
Gland and what that is and how to activate it. And then bring that to me next week.
Okay.
Aquavi, you got that down? Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, you were a part of a powerful seance. Remember, we talked about the 4,500 and some odd ancestors that came together just to bring you, one person, into this existence. And there were 4 of you together.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a massive army, spiritual army. And when you think of half of that army was womb carriers, right?
Yeah.
So now you got, what is that, 2, 4, 6? Now you got over 8,000 women in their own right, womb carriers in their own right, uniting under the moonlight of the full moon, which is the divine mother herself.
Right.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself. You're gonna experience some things. Okay. So let's recap. Let's move forward a little bit. Did you have any questions for Abla or Kwabi or me based on any of the session that we covered today?
No, The only thing I was just I've been like trying to prepare myself for my divination. Um that was the biggest thing, you know.
Okay.
I know you had cover over a few things the night that I had seen you.
Okay. So if there's time, I'll go over it again at the end.
Okay.
Or me and you can talk separately to prepare you for this week.
Okay.
Okay. You have your notes from last week?
I do. I do.
Okay. Okay. Go over your notes from last week. Read your notes from last week. And so I know where we are, where we've covered, and what I need to review um, to get us caught up. And before you start, I just want to greet Questa um, and say hello. I see you there. Thank you for coming back on. Um, and hopefully there's another sister that was going to come back on too. We'll see if she comes. If not, we'll continue with those who are ready. Um, okay, so I just wanted to greet you really quickly. Tayana, go ahead and go over your notes. And this is the review time um, to cover what we went over last week.
So you want me to read them out loud?
Yep, read them out loud so that
Um,
Questa can hear.
so, and I'm sorry, I got it all over the place. I put 4 months of the energy, the October they would be. Oh, I put that October, we doing the cleansing. I think
Mhm.
you was also was saying you was gonna, I also put in my notes that you was gonna mention, starting this month, how we can cleanse for next month. I also put the white cup for your altar and put spring water. Speak to the water. I put that was just more of me of I was asking about decoding the dreams, but y'all answered. Then I also have like it's a disconnect in the nature. A lot of people is not disconnect in sync with nature. And then you were saying as a healer, you should have a plant in your home, and with that water, you can pour like the water should only be on the altar for 24 hours,
Mhm.
and to discard the water, you can put it in your plant. Um, also put grow your own food for the purpose of having your own energy because you don't know the energies that the food like we bought. I also put keeping white clothes clean. You have energy to keep it clean and can't live in our gifts if we don't know our family or heal family trauma. And you also said your gifts, you can't run from them. You could try to run from them. I wrote that down because that really applies to me. Cause with me finding out, cause I didn't know what an empath was. And
Mhm.
I always, my family, they'll joke, you so sensitive. Like, I looked at it as a bad way, but now that I know what it is and stuff, and I always used to, pray, be like, what's my gifts? Because you always wonder, well, I know I was always wondering, like, what's my gift? You got people, the big gifts like singing and stuff like that. But I guess I grew to learn that my gift is like empath. I'm very sensitive. I can pick up people energy um when they talk to me and stuff or whatever. So that's
Mhm.
why I wrote that down. Um the way to give my gift is to connect to the other sides. I also put dreams are vivid, connect to the devotee. Well, first, in order, to figure out my gifts and stuff, I gotta go through my bloodline instead of just going to other devotees and stuff. Um, Eliminate the earth. Oh, and then we also cover purity. And in order to be like purity, eliminate earthly things. That could be like you were saying, like cleansing, washing, and just eliminating waste, fasting. And then look at the things that you consume personally. It could be media, the people you around. Before you create. Then we also cover about sex, and you were saying if you're not procreating, it's no need, basically to have sex. I wrote that down. And then also if you like just got out of a relationship, you were saying give yourself like grace period, 12 months in between a relationship to restore yourself or whatever.
Yes.
That was very interesting to me. So, cause it, also restore with your pelvic area, your mental. And then also you mentioned African proverbs. Oh, I can't make it out. But it was a go. And then I also wrote that you were saying what makes women powerful is we have a choice. I wrote that down. That really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I guess it was a lot of things I wrote down that stood out personally to me. Like you were saying, our society teaches us to overindulge, is eating, having sex, the rhythms of cycle, watch the days. Oh, and then I had asked about like how decoding my dreams and stuff. And yeah, one of the ladies had shared the use lavender on my pillow, and I have been using that. And yeah, and then the Blue Lotus, I haven't ordered it yet. I got it in my Amazon cart to order. So I'm ready but the lavender on the pillow, it definitely knocked me out. And then turning the lights off and all of that stuff, yeah.
Okay. It seems like you have a lot in your notes. You took good notes.
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
gonna
learning a lot. I'm learning, and the stuff that y'all like telling us, I'm applying it. I'm slowly applying it.
No, it's good. I'm not gonna give you too much, because I know it takes time to soak in, and it
Mhm.
takes time to apply. And so I'm gonna move at the pace in which I feel or you show that you can digest it. You
Mhm.
know, there's a African proverb that says, milk for babies and meat for men. You know, and so you want to make sure that you're teaching people and giving them what they can digest,
Mhm.
because the goal isn't to show how great you are as a chef. The goal is to get the person fed. So you feed them at their level, right? And so I'm going to give you the milk. And when you're ready for cereal, we're going to give you some cereal. And when you're ready for chunks, we're going to do chunks. Yeah.
Right.
So it's at your level. It seems like you wrote down everything. That brought back a lot for me. Today I'm going to recap a little bit because we have our sister on the call, and where her workshop, Quista, where her workshop left off at, we were just breaking into purity, and then we had to go in order to start this workshop. And so I told her, I said, come on right at 2, so we can pick up with purity. And purity, as you said it, we touched on that last week. And so I'm going to recap purity, spiritual purity. And that may help you organize your notes some, and you can add to it, and it'll help deepen what you have. So continue to stay on and add to your notes, Tayana, and make sure you have your homework down. Quista, you with us? All right, she there. That's good. I see your smile, baby. Okay, so when it comes to being a healer, okay, when it comes to being a healer, this is a person that is in charge of others, right? Whether you're just a woman, all women are healers. Whether you're a mother, or whether your gift is extended past your family to help others outside of the family and community, right? As a healer, it's important that you keep your connection to the unseen world clear. And that connection is, I'll give you guys different ways, but part of what we're talking about now is as far as connection, or ways to keep the divine close to you, your ancestors, any unseen entities close to you. The section that we're teaching about now is on purity. And so when it comes to purity and a healer, they go, purity is our best friend. Purity is something that we use in order. It's just like a superpower that we use to keep our connection clear and intensify and increase our powers. Are you gifted? Can you work in your powers without high levels of purity? Yes. Look at how many athletes and singers and entertainers and people that are out there, and they're very talented, but their life after hours is not clean at all, right? They still working in their gifts. So can you? Yeah, but how much more would you be if your connection wasn't clogged? It's like working against yourself. Okay. So the definition of purity, do you have the definition of purity in your notes, Tayana?
I do. I just gotta find it where it's at.
Please, is any of this sounding familiar to you? Okay. Okay. Do you know the definition? Did I give it in your class before?
I see pure spirituality, but that ain't the full definition of it.
Okay.
I haven't.
I've heard it. I know you said something about it. I'm just trying to think exactly how you put it.
Because I phrase it a certain way and I say it the same way
It
every
is because I
time.
sent it to my sister. I think I sent it to my sister.
It's because we have to get that ingrained in us. It's very, look at the message and see if you sent it to her and let us know.
I'm looking right now. Let me find her.
Is it also the one where like you gave like the 3 system like corruption? Is it that one as well too?
Yep, it's right before. I would have given
Okay, so
the
I gotta look.
definition. It's
I gotta
it's the
look.
definition. I would have given it right before that.
Uh, I got so many notes. Ooh, where is it?
I could have sworn you said it at the workshop in Houston.
I probably
Would it
did.
be the measure in which the unseen world will interact with you?
Look at
What was
Aquavi's face. Look at Aquavi's face. Look.
I
Yeah,
gotta
and
see
Abla.
that.
That's it. Say it again.
That's it.
Look,
The measure. Look, I lost it again. I clicked out of it. It was the measure in which we something with the unseen something else.
I found it. It's the measurement in which the unseen world will active
that.
with you. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we got it. And I had it right here the whole time. I just didn't write the word purity on it. It's sitting right in front of my face.
Yep. So the official definition is purity is the measurement in which the unseen world will interact with you. That is a measurement of your purity. So purity is a measure in which the unseen world will interact with you. Hey,
Hello.
what did I tell you? Wait a minute. Welcome, beloved. And look, Aquavi, you smiling. Why? Say it, Aquavi. Unmute yourself. Because you had talked about her being staying in divine timing, and we're going over the definition of purity. Like literally just
Like
finished
this right now.
the definition. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to Ben come in, but my baby, she wasn't feeling too well. So I wanted to just lay her down, let her get a little Z's in really quick so I could get back on.
You're in flow. You're in flow. You're right. You are in divine time, beloved.
Oh.
So we're just now really starting the session that you're hopping in for. And I will have your 2 sisters go over the definition of purity. And you need to keep this down, Sonny.
Okay, so if you're writing purity, the definition of purity is the measure in which
habla. Let these young sisters show that they listening.
Oh, okay. Because I was
Okay,
listening.
okay.
The measurement in which the unseen world will interact with you.
Mhm.
The measurement in which the unseen world will interact with you. I knew it was somewhere in that phone.
Mhm. And I'll
Because soon as
always
you
say
said
at
it
the
at the
same time.
thing, I
Yeah.
typed it. Soon as you said it, I was like, listen. He's like, what's this? You should have came.
So I will always say it to you the same way every time. If I ask you what is purity, give me the definition. That's what I want to hear. What you got, Sonny? What's the definition of purity?
The measurement in which the unseen world will interact with you.
Yes. All right. So everybody got it. Tayana, you said it. Quista, you have it. Okay. Everybody knows the definition of purity. Oh, no. Quista, Tayana. Um,
What
why
else
is
do?
purity important?
Oh,
Why is purity important to a healer?
I would say it's important because, like, how you gonna like at some I would say for me at some point it's just with you not being pure, it's just gonna exhaust you. Just you basically can't pour into somebody else's cup if you not clean or you not well and stuff.
Exactly. What's your answer, Quista?
it was pretty much the same. How can I purify or help someone else purify if I'm not purified? Like, how can I give you something I don't have or teach you about something that I'm not doing?
Mm. Sonny, why is purity important to a healer?
Well, to me, purity is important to the healer because I feel like cleanliness is just next to godliness. So we trying to, tap into that divine essence, that line of communication with anyway, especially during our divinations. We got to make sure, our insides reflect our outsides. The outside going to reflect our insides.
Mm. All those
So I'm
answers
just
are
big on, just clean, taking that necessity stuff. Like you said earlier with the rituals, before you leave out the house, you're going to brush your teeth first. And I feel like before you get back in your bed, you out all day, you should take a bath. You need to wash that off you before you just bring that, any unwanted energy just back into your sacred space and your aura.
Mhm.
And also what
Good.
we take in on a day-to-day basis as well,
Yeah.
like from the internet, from jobs, sometimes
Mhm.
even the kids, husbands,
Yeah.
wives, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you need to purify yourself from all of that. And like what's her name? Tayana. I'm
Mhm.
an empath too. So
Okay.
especially for people like us, we soak up everything. I find myself emotional. I'm like, why are you so emotional? Like
Yes.
who upset? Who upset? Who mad? What's going on? Let's talk about it because y'all affected me. Now that's how I do them in my house. I be like, what's going on? Come on, let's sit down. What's going on? Because now y'all got my stomach hurting. Because you worried about something. Who worried? Somebody in
Right.
your world. I get to looking around. I'm like, oh, we gotta fix this.
What my mistake?
Because you affecting me now. I'm in
Yeah.
here teary eyed and I'm like, what the heck I'm finna cry for? What's going
Mm-hmm.
on? Like,
He said,
I
"No,
said,
you got
you
my stomach
sad?
hurting."
Like, you sad? Why you sad? I can feel that
Mhm.
you're sad. You're upset about something. So it'll upset me. So since we're like sponges, I know we
Yes,
need to
it's
get rid of
real.
some of that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all true. And so some of the things that we have to do, and this will be a recap maybe for you, Tayana, but for the other ladies, I'm going to go through it and I'll try to go through it as quickly as possible because I do have an appointment that I need to get to at 1:15. So I'm going to have to do a hard stop at 1. And I have to have this appointment at 1:15 so I could be back on the call at 2:00, which is 4:00 your time. But just like with the morning session, if we don't get through it all, if I don't get through my point, y'all can hop on that last call during the time that I come in, and we could wrap up for the day. But what I was going to say is that because we are human beings and we're in this body, yeah, because we're in this body, there's rules that we're governed to, right? That we don't have to worry about when we're in our pure spirit form. But because we're in reincarnation, there's things that we have to do that spirit doesn't normally have to do. And I gave you guys 3 things. I might have touched on this in Houston. So if you know the 3 things or the 3 areas that I talked about, just go ahead and say them for the group. What's one?
Are you like the physical body know that, and then 2 what, corruption, and then 3 procreate? Yeah. Are
Right.
those the 3 you talking about?
Yeah. So the first one was the food that we consume.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So it's the food that we consume. Um, Spirit doesn't have to eat the same way that we eat. Right. So because of that, that's something that's unique to being a human being. When that type of activity is going on, spirit stays away or gives space. Right. The second thing is any type of elimination or corruption. By elimination and corruption, I'm talking about a few different things. We're talking about dirtiness, right? Talking about sweating. We're talking about going to the toilet. We're talking about um, um, hair shedding. All of those things are human conditions. Vaginal secretions, all of those things are human conditions. Spirit don't have to deal with that. Okay, so if you have to go toilet, you should get that off of you as soon as possible. Spiritual people, most of us, you should get to a point to where you're using water when you go to the bathroom. Okay, you go to a bowel movement number 2. Matter of fact, before I even say that, I use the example of if you in the park and you step in dog poo, you want me to hand you a piece of newspaper, or you want me to hand you some water to clean your shoe?
Some
That's an
water.
open. You
Water.
guys are okay. I got 1 water. Sunny, Quista.
Well, how much water I have?
You have unlimited amounts of newspaper and unlimited amounts of water. Which one would you want to clean your shoe?
To
The
clean my
water.
water.
However, when
Maybe,
it
yeah.
comes to getting poop off of our butt, we use toilet paper.
This is true. And I get right in the tub too.
I just shower.
I be
That's that
I'm
that
making
is
the rolled up paper up and now. No.
man. Okay, you guys already on path. So some suggestions I gave the ladies before in previous workshops was to get bidets, to use wipes, or to get little spigots. They have them. There's other spiritual sects like the Muslims. They use the water spigots. Bidets are good, or just if nothing else, get right in the shower right after, right? Because having that corruption on you keeps spirit away, right? Just like Sunny was saying, you and Quista too, you've been out all day. Before you go to lay down and go into that dream mode, you're taking what to your bed? Everything you had on you today? No, go rinse off, take a shower. And and purify yourself. Cleanse that energy off of you. That dirt, those particles, that sweat, that's all corruption. That was number 2. The third thing was sex. That's something you have to do in order to stay alive in this human body, in order to procreate and for your bloodline to stay alive. You have to bring forth more ancestors. And so because of that, that is something when we talk about returning back to spirit or connecting with spirit, that's something you need to lessen or eliminate in order to increase your purity, right? So we talk about with Abla, with ancestral veneration, we talk about those 3 things can be used when applying them to your altar space. If you're looking to have an altar space, if you haven't set one up already. So we should look to have it in a space where there's no sex happening, there's no food eating happening, and there's not a bathroom, or people aren't using the bathroom in that area. Okay, that's for the altar. When we talk about the first temple, ourselves, we talk about the first temple. This ties into next month when we talk about our diet and fasting that we're going to do in October. Okay. To increase our purity, we're going to need to refrain from those 3 things. Y'all ready for that? How many of y'all, and I want a show of hands, how many of y'all could go 30 days with no sex in October? I got 1, 2, I got 3 hands.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know yet.
I don't want you to lie. I don't want nobody to lie. It ain't no, we got people who are in relationships, marriages. I'm not even, I just said who can and all that. Okay, so for those who don't know, is it because of are you in a relationship to where you have an obligation to someone else?
Yes, I am in a relationship.
Okay. Tayana?
No, I'm not in a relationship.
Okay. For the ones who are in a relationship, when you go into your fast, you should make your partner aware that you're going to go into a 30-day fasting period, right? And for the ladies who are single, when I say no sex, I mean masturbation also. Y'all hands still up? Y'all got to put that rose up for 30 days.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying
She
that.
said with the rose up.
That I ain't even that ain't what this session is about, but I can tell y'all all about what you call into yourselves with the rose. But anyway, no rose for 30 days. This is just you bearing down. When those urges come, that time of the month, you go pee and you go take a shower. And that's it. You go walk around, get up and move around. That's just, don't be by yourself. Get up, move around, go pee. That's it.
I said that's the first time I hear now. Go pee.
Go pee.
Yeah, that's the first time I hear it now. I'm gonna try that one.
Let me tell you, an elder told me that when I was a teenager.
Oh, really?
And ever since then, you get high, you get to kissing on the little area,
Yeah.
Go pee. It'll get you right back in your senses. It'll get you right back thinking clearly. Okay. So back to what we was on topic about. Now, we sisters, it's women. We women, we need to have community like this. We need to do this. Okay, so for those who are in a relationship, you have to tell your spouse, I'm going to do my 30-day cleanse detox. One of the things I'd like to do is go 30 days with having spiritual purity. Will you allow me to do that? I have to ask you permission. If they say no, and they have a right to say no, then you can just ask them if they can be mindful that you're trying to hold your purity as much as possible. But if your husband, the man that you're in a relationship with, if they come to you for sex, I'm not going to tell you to deny them. Okay? Okay. What I will tell you to do is watch your urges, because as women, we start a lot. We'll raise the flame. We will start a lot. We'll, next thing you know, we doing all this, you know. We sitting on his lap and we get to rocking ourselves, and we just, and it's us, and he be good watching the game, doing whatever he doing, not even thinking about, in the garage mowing the lawn. He ain't even thinking about us, and here we come with the shoulder out, and we just hiding the pants. We need to go pee. So I'm holding y'all accountable to go pee and to hold yourself. But if he comes to you and it's him, you know, you can't turn him away, because then we, you know, say, well, that's when he cheated on me, and that's what. You don't send him away. Just rock him to sleep, give him what he needs, and you go and take your spiritual bath and get back in line.
So would you say that it's best, like if you are in a relationship, to try to go through that phase of purity with your partner,
if they're open to it?
to make it, like, try to make it easier, like as a partner thing, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's always good if they're open to it. Sometimes, you know, it depends. If your partner is into spirituality like you, and they're on their spiritual journey, and they see the benefit, and they're willing to do it with you, it's powerful, because you guys can manifest together, right? There's plenty different exercises, and you know, this is where maybe you're not having sex, but maybe you're doing certain chants and tantra together, and you're manifesting differently. That's very powerful, along with all the other things that you're doing. Yes, if that's an option, you know. But if you got a spouse and they just, you know, they're more concerned about Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders and what he got going on, let him be. Let him be, and just, baby, just allow me my space. Okay. So refrain from sex as much as possible. There's no disciplinary action here if you can't, and there's no reward from me if you can. It's just where you are, and I ask questions just so we can be transparent, but it's there's no judgment one way or the other on me for me, just so you guys know. I accept everybody where they are. When you guys come to the temple and you start to see the community, you'll be like, they at the temple, but they outside doing this and this and this. But they living by certain principles, and we all on different path, you know, different levels in our path, and we don't judge. We're not gonna push people away because they ain't at the same level we at. We just encourage people and continue to reinforce the values. That's it. Ancestors will do the rest of the work. That's it. So that's all I do. I just teach and let ancestors do the rest of the work. So sex, when we're talking about preparing ourselves for the cleanse in October, we also have to talk about our purity when it comes to our bodies. Right? During fast, you guys should be showering twice a day. Okay. This, and you should definitely should be showering after you use number 2. Okay. What else? When we're talking about preparing ourselves for the cleanse in October, diet is a big thing. We don't even have enough time. We'll have to spend a whole Sunday on diet because there's so much that we need to unpack when it comes to diet. But what I will say is that in October, there needs to be a period of time where you do not eat. Okay. And there should be a smaller period of time where you do eat. Okay. So when we start to, I guess we can go into it now because we're preparing for October. When it comes to October and the fast, from sun up to sundown, we won't be eating. You'll be drinking water. This is for those who can, right? If you have medications, if you have dietary restrictions, health restrictions, where you have to be consuming certain foods at a certain time, we understand, right? But for those of you who are looking for a baseline, you guys know when I teach, I tell you what, I teach you the way to get maximum results, but that doesn't mean if you can't adhere to it and you do something else, you won't get benefit from doing it a modified version. So since we're talking about eating as it relates to the first temple and our connection to spirituality, there will be a period of time that you should not eat, and a smaller period of time in which you do eat. So if you're not able to do sun up to sundown, not eating, which pretty much equates to like 1 meal a day in the evening, then you should do plan B would be 12 to 6. Right. So you have 6 hours of eating, but then you have 18 hours of no eating. Right. So there's a period of time where you're not eating, and then a smaller period of time where you are consuming food. Because the goal is to have longer periods, as long as possible, these long periods of purity where the divine can be closer to you. Okay. That's why on the earlier session, Sunny, when we were talking about stress and trauma, and you said the first thing you go to is you lose your appetite and you go into the sun. I'm just like, okay, that's her default. She's already, her default already takes her into healing. Her default already takes her into connecting, right?
Yeah.
You guys got that?
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are following in your notes, or you guys are making notes, we're talking about purity as it relates to the altar space and the first temple, meaning your body. And within the altar space and the first temple, there's 3 criterias, and we're showing how they affect each space. So right now, we've already covered how those criterias should be kept in mind when you're designing or looking for your altar space. Now we're on the first temple, your body, and how to increase your purity when thinking about your body, the first temple. So we went through no sex for 30 days. We went through corruption. You should be showering twice a day in October for the fast. And we went through food or fasting. Okay. With fasting, we're going to push and try to do no food from sunup to sundown. If that doesn't work for you, then we're going to make sure the period in which we eat is less than the period in which we do eat. So like intermittent fasting, for instance, where you fast for 18 and then you only eat for 6 or 8 hours. For 6 hours.
And when you
All
say
right.
from sun to sundown, drinking the water, does that just like mean water, or like just liquid?
Good question. The most you should take in is maybe like a broth.
Mm-hmm.
If your energy is really, really low and you need to move around and you need energy, say you have to go to work and your work is stressful, or you have to be in the sun and you're feeling dizzy, you can have juice or smoothie at the very worst.
Okay.
But a cup of juice, orange juice, cranberry juice, apple juice.
Okay. I just know because I know I can literally like go days without eating. I'm like, when they say, you get your body on that sun alignment. So I don't get an appetite until about 12 o'clock noon anyway. Like I don't eat breakfast like that. Like I don't get a real appetite about 12, 1 o'clock. Like just naturally. Some days, and then if I'm busy, I just won't eat at all. And I will still have like energy for the whole week still. But I know like I get thirsty a lot because I get hot from moving around. So I don't want to, just up and like, oh, I might just get something, the small smoothie or drink here. Like I want to make sure like, is it like if I was to, juice it or something like that, like just turn all like vegetables and juices and stuff.
Well, here's where, it becomes gray, right? And this is what I say. During the fast, you have to be disciplining yourself, meaning you have to struggle. If you're not struggling, then you're not reaping the spiritual benefit, right? So for you, it may not be a struggle to intermittent fast because you don't get hungry till 12. Where someone else, they don't eat till 12. We might have to take them to the hospital because they got to take, it's an issue. For you, you need to assess, because on first glance, I would say you need to do water until sundown. And you need to struggle from 12 to 6 or 12 to 7 and just have water. and then you have your meal at sundown. That's what I would say for you. But that's if that's pushing you to struggle. If you having juice is a push to struggle, then it's for you to be honest with yourself and say, this is how much I'm willing to struggle. I'm willing to not eat, but I do want a juice. You get out of it what you put into it. So because it's not me who's giving you that energy exchange. It's your ancestors. So they know, it's you giving it to you. So if juicing or doing smoothies is struggle, and to what degree you're struggling, right? What I would not suggest is for someone who's used to not eating, for you to try to do a dry fast. Unless you're used to dry fasting, I would not suggest you to do a dry fast. But all water, unless it's like a broth, until sundown. But again, it's for you to choose your level of struggle. How much benefit, what do you need to get out of this, right? One of the things we're going to do as the weeks progress in preparing us for October is we're going to outline what we want to get, what we want to get from this fast. What do we need? What answers do we need? What opportunities, what doors, what do we need to manifest, right? To the level in which you want that done is also to the level and degree in which you should be struggling.
That's sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I have a question.
Okay, I'm gonna answer you guys' questions, then I'm gonna go. I told y'all I got a 115 and it's 101.
Uh-oh. My question is, for the fast, I take a bag full of medicine, right?
Okay.
But now, what do I do with that? Because I take probably 13 medications in the morning. So
In the
how would I
morning.
go about doing my fast if the majority of them I have to eat before I can even take them, or at least eat with it?
Right. What I would say for you is to do a fast based on diet. Meaning, maybe you can't do an intermittent or a fast like we're doing, but maybe we do like a detox where maybe the next level for you might be, and this is what we've done in the past, and the two ladies on the call can tell you, we just do alkaline, right? There's foods that you can eat, but you stay within an alkaline diet. And if you are thriving for the highest alkalinity possible, that's the highest purity possible.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
For me, when I fast, all I do is eat alkaline foods. When I do eat, it's alkaline. So even say during this period in October, sun up to sundown, we're not eating. But even when the sun goes down, that meal that I consume is going to be an alkaline meal. Okay.
And Quita, if you want, I could send you a list of like some little small little recipes and stuff of all like little, alkaline foods and snacks, things that got those electrolytes in it for you.
Sure.
Can you send it to me as well too?
I was about to say, don't you leave us out. We want it too.
No.
Yeah.
You put it in the chat. We got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what
So
I'm gonna
I
do.
guess with me, I'm gonna have to what you were saying, the broth and stuff, because I like do like hard labor work. So how would I have to do with mine? So just the broth and
You can do broth, you can do smoothies, or like we were saying for Sister Quita, you can do an alkaline diet.
okay. Okay. And
I should
only
be able
eat
to do
when
smoothies as
sundown,
well.
right?
Say that again.
Only eat to sundown for the whole October.
Well,
After, right?
yeah,
Well, yeah.
you have to decide what you're doing. If you're doing sun up to sundown, and then you don't eat nothing until the sun sets, right?
Okay.
That's option one. Or option two was your first meal be from at 12, and your last meal be before 6 o'clock. So before
Okay.
5:59, you having that last meal.
Okay.
That was option two. Option three was no time restriction, but there was a diet restriction of alkaline diet.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you ladies go because I had to hop off and be ready for 2 o'clock. But this is good for today. Y'all don't have to hop back on at 2 o'clock or 4, 5 o'clock, unless you guys have questions, because we covered a good amount today. You guys are welcome to, of course. But as far as this is concerned, we stayed on long enough to
Go
get
sit
through
down.
this
What
section.
y'all doing?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi.
You're welcome. So next week, this is homework for everybody on the call. Even your two big sisters, Aquavi and Abla. I want y'all to check in with me too. And Aquavi, I hope you're keeping notes of everybody's homework that I'm giving out, because I'm not keeping notes. So this is the second I gave homework to Tayana. I'm now giving homework to the group. The homework for the group is for everybody to identify the type of fast they're going to do as it relates to food. Option one, option two, or option three. Okay. Also, I want everyone to identify a couple things that they see as hurdles for the October fast, that things that might be hard or challenging for them, right? One. And then the other thing is I want people to start to think about and list things that they want to manifest for October in their lives that they're going to focus on. Repeat that back, Aquabi.
So I have first identify the type of fast. So option one, eating after sundown. Option two, eating between 12 and 6. And then option three, a dietary fast, like alkaline. And then identify possible hurdles. And then also identifying things that people want to manifest.
Right? Those are three things, three separate things I'm going to expect you guys to have responses on.
Mhm.
All right. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat, or I'll see you in the next session.
Thank
Be well.
Thank you.
Oda.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.